vision goes back many, many years because of my own personal experiences and what I went through. And the fact that not only myself, but many others in the first responders world at that time, there was no place to seek help. There was nothing. There was just suck it up and move forward. As a result of that, in my 30-year career in law enforcement, unfortunately, I lost a few friends to suicide. And it was that resounding need that kept coming back, with the understanding that there was no place for us to go and seek help. That the mentality was, listen, this is just part of the job, it's what you do, man up, suck it up, and just keep walking forward. It's not that easy. We have to live with the things that we experience in our lives. So this goes back many, many, many years for me. And transformation has actually allowed me to kind of live out this dream. Because this was a dream. This was a passion for me. And I cannot tell you how incredible I feel and how humble I feel to be sitting here among these heroes, and they have gone through the program, and it is just a joy to be able to see them get along with life business, learning how to live once again and enjoy life. I believe collectively, all of us together, we're able to give all of these men here an incredible second chance at life. And this is what it's all about. And I feel very humbled by it, because I'm seeing the collective effort of the fruits of the labor. And here are 4 lives right here that is exactly what the entire concept of transformation is all about. This is the dream that we dreamed of having these men and women be able to once again reclaim their lives and start living an incredible life. So it's just humbling for me to be able to be among these men.
Absolutely. I mean, more so comes from us.
Yeah.
Many of us are held into ego, held into this pride. I don't need help. Man up, get over it yourself. So many of us battle this for years upon years without reaching out to anybody, not thinking that anybody could relate, okay? Provide the proper treatment for people like us that have seen battle or experienced things on the street and fires and break-ins and whatnot. We really have this idea that we can do it on our own, that we're men of honor and integrity and we shouldn't have to reach out for anybody. And and then we finally threw all the cards on the table and said, we finally do need some help, and through the grace of God, we landed in Carlos's lap, and he showed us that there is a life to be lived, that it's okay to reach out, and that we're all going through the same thing, that we can help each other through this.
Well, yeah, there's help is like instilled in you, as being weak, and it's not really, especially in like addiction, alcoholism, especially in that field, it's not spoken about, it's kind of a hush thing. So if you're struggling, we're self-defeating, and I'm one of those cases where I accidentally I came to treatment and I'm like, wait a minute, I was walking in the halls and I'm like, VA, first responder. Well, I'm both, because it was guilt and shame of losing my everything that I didn't want anybody to know it. And until I went in there and I was like, wait a minute, I'm not alone. And these folks right here are right in the trenches with me, and I do need help, and it is a judge-free zone, and it was not on my own accord, and I've learned that, you know, that getting help is not weakness, that's actually strength.
I actually went through a long period of time of alcoholism. I drank myself. And I finally got to the point where I said to myself I needed help. And I came to transformations, and like Jake said, I was dropped in his fortunate lap. And, you know, one-on-one contact with him made me realize what I was doing wrong. Because I didn't even know what I was doing wrong. All I know is that I was looking for my next drink. That's all I was looking for. I didn't have the tools to help myself. So by the time I came down here, I was broken. I was totally broken. And through the grace of God, and these guys right here, we helped each other through it too. Because you're not in clinic all day long. You're living in houses together.
Do life.
And these are your brothers that you lean on when you're not there, and you're having a barbecue on a Sunday night where you're not at clinical, and you're talking about your problems. And some of that is just therapy itself, but that's not self-taught. You know, it's usually busting on each other first, and then it gets to the serious conversations when we're all winding down and we're about to go to bed.
Oh, highly essential for us. That camaraderie is that camaraderie helps us relate, helps us see that there is purpose again, help us have each other's back, helps us just continue on. It helps us realize that we don't have to do this on our own, that there are other guys outside of this safety zone that are going to continue having our back, that we're all on one mission now, and that's to inspire others, to encourage change, and to live a peaceful life. And none of that happens without a fellowship.
It doesn't get much worse for myself than to lose the career, lose the home, lose the children, and just through multiple detoxes still latching on to the fact that I just need to not be sick, and then I can control this until gradually, being homeless, living behind a dumpster, dealing with overdoses and people dying around you, and to finally giving that will up, and thank God, landing into transformations and falling into the programs that they have to offer. I mean, it was just a gradual, continual loss.
Well, I had the opportunity to be able to train my family not to trust. And that's an amazing thing, because that's not the way my family was. I trained my family for them to know that whatever I had to say was probably a lie. And for them not to be able to depend on me. Family events were always with everybody except for Bob. And it's one of those things, where he is, we don't know. The disappointment that they had to deal with was an incredible amount. I remember on my dad's 80th birthday, driving around the neighborhood while they were at his birthday party, doing what I was doing in addiction. And for them to be able to overcome the disappointment of not my being there, but of my destroying myself. It was an incredible sadness, incredible sadness. And I know that my witnessing that was not enough for me to turn it around. However, I did internalize it, and that sadness still lives with me today. I've been able to forgive myself, and what's even better is my family has seen me come through that darkness in my life and has celebrated with me the recovery.
Coming here to Transformations and being here for 30 days and you're stuck in here and the world hasn't stopped, and you get home and you got bills to pay and you got things to make up with your children, and getting my oldest son back to me and getting him back in school, so your responsibility doesn't stop. And the higher power came to my door one day, and it was DHS. I was clean. I came back from Transformations clean. My house was spotless. There was no beer cans anywhere. I didn't have booze on my breath. So my higher power sent them at the right time. I just landed. So.
I give all glory to God, and thank God for coming to Transformations and putting my hand back into God's and mending that relationship that I had known of my entire life, but through my own self-will have been distanced, and it wasn't until like truly giving up my will to God and truly getting involved in my church and serving and just the relentless pursuit of God and God's relentless pursuit of me. And on my own, I'm a wreck. I am a failed mission, and through grace I have a shot, and I know I'm covered. And I mean, you know, I leave Friday to go to Haiti on a second missions trip through my church. You know, I get another chance to serve in another way, you know, other human people. But ultimately, it's we're called to love. You know, we're supposed to love as God loves us, and it's a daily pursuit and a daily reminder that I do that, and I love as I'm loved, and yeah, I could keep going.
Just make sure you reach out. There's a lot of people that are dealing with similar things that you're going through. Life isn't over, life has just started. And I think it's imperative that they reach out to a friend that they can confide in, because oftentimes there's that stigma that if they say something, then you're damaged goods. So my message would be, reach out. You're not damaged goods, because you deserve to live.
I would say you're not alone in this. Do not let the guilt and shame of anything that you've been through, keep you from asking for help. There's strength in vulnerability, and there is hope, without a doubt. And we're all a testament to that. And just reach out, use the phone, contact somebody. There's hope out there. For God's sake, use it.
The mission continues, my brother and sisters. You survived all this for a reason. And you need to have faith in others to guide you back to peace, and know that you have a greater purpose, that this life is worth living. There is a beautiful side to all this darkness, and you are loved wholeheartedly, abundantly. No matter what has gone through, remember that the future dictates the value of the past. past does not dictate the value of the future. So stay strong. Peace will prevail if you give another a chance to help, because then in turn you'll be able to help others in the same position.
Well, you are not defined by your past. We're all good people. Addiction and many other pains in our lives takes us in different roads. That road does not have to be an endless road. But there is indeed many people that are willing to reach out and to help you. Like it's been said here before, you are not alone. There is a big, big family out there like want to reach out and want to help you. So therefore, when you think that you're some sort of a wandering generality in this world, that you're a madman, or that you are a disappointment, you are none of those things. Addiction allowed you to become those things. We are greater than that, and we are here to help you.
Well, I guess the one thing I would say, it's okay to admit that you've been broken. Every one of us have been broken, and we have hope to be able to be restored. It's through recovery, through spiritual growth, that you can have the hope. You know, in addiction, we're standing in front of a closed door. At least I was. And you know, life was beyond that door. I need to open that door. And you can open that door too, to a fuller life, to what you were designed to be. You know, all of us were designed to do great things. We just don't know what those things are. When we're in recovery, those things become more appealing, more transparent. You can start to see these things. And in addiction, you can't, because your eyes are veiled with the addiction. Recovery gives you the opportunity to have that veil lifted, where you can start to see things far more clearly, for you to be able to start to become the person you were designed to be, and to be the loving human being that we were all designed to be. I think that it was very well put that, you know, first love your God and then love your neighbor as yourself. Without being able to love yourself, you cannot love anything. Recovery has given me the ability to be able to love myself, and I'm very grateful for that.
You know, every human being on the face of this earth has to have purpose and meaning, because then there is what's the sense of them even existing. And so what I attempt to instill in them is that, look, let me just put it real plainly. Recovery has never been meant for the weak, was never meant for the weak, never. Recovery, from the very first day that recovery was put together, those traditions and those 12 steps, they were meant for the survivor. They were meant for the fighter. They were meant for people that were willing to do everything that it took to be able to reclaim themselves and reclaim a life living worth for. Recovery is about transforming lives. And if we know how to engage and learn the guideline and the rules of engagement of living a great, wonderful life, is all there for the taking. And these men have learned how to do that. And they came back from very, very dark places in their lives.